Hello everyone, Rurikhan here coming at you with another video, and today we're going back to my roots as a content creator a little bit. I don't know how many of you guys were here, God knows how many years ago, but I used to record a lot of videos in my car. It wasn't like this because, now I have an actual decent phone that can record good footage, but back in the day I had like a crappy laptop that I would just like sit down on the passenger seat, and then I would open it up and it would have like a webcam and I'd record straight on that. And no, it didn't have an SSD or anything like that. It had a hard drive. So as you can imagine, the health of that laptop was never particularly good because, you're driving down the freeway with a laptop and it's just going like, like, the vibration completely just shattering your hard drive that's also recording video at the same time. Man, those were the days. Just thinking back to that just takes me back. Jesus Christ. But anyway, you guys might be wondering, Rurikhan, why are you recording videos from your car? This is actually something that I had planned for a while, because a lot of times when I have free time to record is when my kids are asleep. And as you can imagine, I can't just be speaking loudly at night in my house when my kids are asleep, because they're going to wake up. And then if my kids wake up, my wife is going to be mad. She's going to go into the living room where I'll be recording and she's going to stab me in the throat. And I don't want that. I mean, probably some of you guys do want that, but let's assume that a majority of you guys also doesn't want that. At least I would like to think so. So, I decided, let's try pump out a video in the car, see how that works out, test out how the audio works out, because I'm just using the microphone from the phone. Hopefully that's good enough, because that would really free me to create more content, because I can just create content literally anywhere if this works. But anyway, naturally, as you can imagine, the biggest thing that we need to talk about is the Blizzard situation. You guys might be wondering also, Rurikhan, why have there been a lot of videos in the channel? You haven't been streaming on Twitch. What's going on? And I know that not everybody in this channel is going to be aware of that, but I am a huge Monster Hunter fan. And in case you guys weren't aware, new expansion released for Monster Hunter Rise. It's called Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak, released at some point last week. So I've been extremely busy, live streaming that over on my main channel, creating content for that on my main channel. And I'm going to be doing that for a while, because at the end of the day, I love talking about the nostalgia of Blizzard and Diablo and World of Warcraft and all of these things. But I also want to be able to play video games that I actually enjoy. And naturally, that's not going to be World of Warcraft anytime soon, because I will go back to WoW when Dragonflight comes out so that I can check it out. And then we'll see if it's Dragonflight or Dragonblight. I just thought that up because Dragonblight's like a status ailment that you get in Monster Hunter. Anyway, besides the point, just wanted to let you guys know. And again, I'm sorry. Also, I think that Frozen Sodium Zone is going to be a little bit late, because Akalon is having a bunch of load shedding stuff happening on his end, which makes things a little bit tough to record the podcast. But we'll make it work, and we'll make sure that you guys get an episode this week as well, because obviously there's a ton of stuff to talk about. Namely, the Blizzard situation where they purchased Proletariat. Now, this is a studio which had about 100 people. These guys were working on a video game called Spellbreak, which was kind of like a spell casting battle royale. And I'll be honest, I had seen footage of gameplay of Spellbreak previously, and I remember thinking to myself, man, if this game wasn't a battle royale, I'd probably have a blast playing this thing. Like if this was some kind of an RPG or something like that I could just play and level up a character or something, like that'd probably be something really cool, because they were slinging spells and they were doing combinations with spells. Like I think you had stuff like lightning would interact with water in different ways. Why is my light gone out? Anyways, like I was saying, I believe that lightning would interact with water in different ways, and water would interact with fire and ice and all the usual elemental stuff that you get. I believe that was a thing that you could do. And they also had several elemental spells, and the animations look really cool, and the spells that you could fling in that thing look really awesome. It's also been told, I believe it was Bellular. I've been following this situation mostly through Bellular, because you guys know I consume a lot of Bellular content, right? And Bellular said that they had been working with Blizzard already in certain projects and stuff like that, and they were potentially looking to getting purchased. It's maybe not a situation where Blizzard just threw their weight around. It's like, oh, we're gonna absorb these guys like the Borg, we're gonna assimilate them or something like that. So it seems like some of these people were potentially excited to work on World of Warcraft, which, here's the thing. There's obviously the positive angle where we look at this and we're like, okay, so Blizzard is getting a bunch of more people to create more content for the game. This seems like a win-win situation, right? But again, you look at Blizzard's track record, and maybe I'm being too cynical, and feel free to criticize me on that. But look, I'm still willing to go out on a limb and go check out Dragonflight to see what that game is going to be, and to see if Blizzard is going to deliver on the promises of actually making a game that is going to be worth playing. And I'm doing coverage on I'm going out on the limb on all of this stuff, right? And, if it turns out that it's trash again, we'll criticize it and we'll talk about it and we'll do all of those things. And if it turns out that it's a good thing, which I can't tell you how happy it would make me to actually eventually report that it would be a good thing. But anyways, the cynic person in me looks at a move like this from Blizzard and is like, okay, so why now? World of Warcraft's kind of like on a downward spiral. Things are not, up, at least throughout Shadowlands, things weren't looking particularly good. And Blizzard does have a bit of a reputation of cutting and running. Like if you think of things like Overwatch 1, instead of them extending the development of that game, they decided to make Overwatch 2, which is kind of weird, even though that's not really cut and run. But like when it comes to cut and run, you look at StarCraft, like where's StarCraft? StarCraft's gone. Where's Warcraft 3? They're now saying, like, how many years after the game came out, they're now saying, oh, we're gonna fix it, and we'll fix it, don't worry about it, it's whatever. But most importantly, look at like the scene in Heroes of the Storm. And I know that a lot of people didn't play Heroes of the Storm because maybe didn't think that, oh, it was a crappy Dota, LOL is way better, which I 1000% disagree. In my opinion, Heroes was friggin' phenomenal. That's just my opinion. Because I played a ton of Heroes. You guys know TGN Squadron, all of that stuff. We played tons of Heroes, and I still think that Heroes is one of the best top-down MOBAs out there. It's just the thing is, most people are just used to the Summoner's Rift format and whatnot. But anyways, that's like a different topic. But when Blizzard can make that work, what do? They cut and run. They're like, oh yeah, all these esport organizations, cut and run, slice and dice, let's go. So the fact that, I have people nearby. The fact that if you think about, Blizzard kind of like cutting and running on a lot of these projects, and the way that Blizzard has been investing their money and whatnot, it makes you wonder, okay, so this move, what are they trying to achieve with this move? And the least cynical person and the more optimistic person is going to be like, well, clearly they just want to expand on the team, which according to Bella, they have been expanding on the World of Warcraft team for a while. This isn't like just the first big move that they're making. They've been making smaller moves, and now they're making another one. And, the least cynical person will think, okay, so this is a good thing. There more people create more content, boom, boom, boom. But the more cynical person in me looks at this, and, and I look at like, okay, look at what they did with Diablo Immortal. And I know that people are going to be like, oh, but Diablo Immortal, it's a mobile game. It's a completely different story and blah, 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 blah. And it's like, yeah, dude, and the Easter Bunny is all nice and not a serial killer, and Santa Claus is also going to come down and shower us all with presents, and the Tooth Fairy exists. And it's like, come on, dude, okay? It's like, sure, it's a mobile game, but Blizzard has definitely shown their hand that they don't care about the way in which they monetize things. And World of Warcraft is already monetized in a way that is pretty disgusting with the WoW token. So is this an actual attempt at, bringing an actual kind of like resuscitation of the World of Warcraft IP? Because it's almost at the point where it can potentially flatline. Like, I think if Dragonflight fails, like, sure, the game's not going to die instantly, but I think that it's going to lose so many people at that point, right? So could this be an earnest effort for them to bring something to the table? Or could this be because someone over at Blizzard is like, hey, I figured out a new way that we can monetize World of Warcraft. We figured out a new way that we can squeeze more money out of people, besides, the 6-month mounts bullshit, besides, the WoW token nonsense that we're doing. We figured out another way of doing things. And maybe they're going to come up with some crazy monetization pay-to-win scheme for the game. Or maybe it's not, pay-to-win, maybe it's something else. But maybe they're coming up with some kind of different form of monetization that they have planned for World of Warcraft, and that's why they're willing to invest money. Because, like, look, the way that I look at Blizzard nowadays, and I understand it's incredibly cynical of me, but so far, I've been proven right every step of the way. Because, like, you look back at 2018, when I made my, like, 7-video series criticizing them for what they were doing to the Diablo franchise, there were a bunch of people coming at me saying, like, oh, wow, Rurikhan, really, dude? Come on, this is going to be a mobile game. It's whatever. It's Blizzard, bro. Come on. They're not going to do anybody dirty. And fast forward to today, and what do we have? Right? So it's like, you need to understand that I take no pride in being right when it comes to these things. I'm just pointing out that, like, look, I've been talking about these things for years. And this particular move of them acquiring another studio is weird. So the thing that leads me to believe it's like they have some plan in which they're going to monetize World of Warcraft in some way that probably a lot of us are not going to like, but it's going to bring them a lot of money. Because, I mean, look at the way that things have been going for a while, right? You have less players, but yet they're still able to monetize more. Why? Because they're fleecing these players, because they're really milking the whales dry. Is that what they're doing, or is this an actual earnest effort to bring the game back in some way, shape, or form by, having more, a better content cadence? This was one of the things that Balilar brought up, right? Oh, they see what Final Fantasy XIV is able to do, and they're like, okay, well, let's expand our team. We should be able to do something like that. Could it be that that is the case? I don't know, and I don't dare to hope for that, because, like, if I dare to hope for that, and then Dragonflight comes out and it's exactly what I expect, then it's just going to be, it's going to be downright depressing, right? So I don't dare hope for that. So I'm preparing for the worst. And, if we get positively surprised, great. I will be incredibly happy to report that we've been positively surprised. But if we don't, then I'll know. Then I'll be like, yep, it's pretty much what I thought. But that's kind of like where I stand. I look at everything that is announced when it comes to World of Warcraft nowadays. I look at everything from two angles. It's like, okay, so let's look at it from the angle that they could be trying to do the right thing, which is like, hey, we're expanding, improve our content cadence, do all of this. But now let's look at the other angle, the angle that's more logical, the angle that pleases investors, the angle that pleases Bobby. That is like, hey, if you're putting money in that thing, I better be able to get the money out of it tenfold. And I'm going to be very curious to see which one it's going to be. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section down below. Let me know what you think about this format of videos, if you like it, if you don't like it. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Stay strong. Stay safe. Peace out.